All right, guys, great tune. Let's get right into the tutorial. Um, if you want to see a couple great versions of this song, the original version that I fell in love with, I'm going to put right over here. That was Steve Martin and, I can't remember her name, beautiful, amazing comedian. They did a duet in the Jerk movie from the 1980s. For some younger folks might not remember, click the link, watch the video. It's amazing. It's what made me want to learn this song in the first place. And he also plays it, by the way, on ukulele. And the other version, which I'm going to put over here, is my own version that I did with my daughter, oh gosh, 12, 13 years ago, deep in the countryside of China. Not another soul around. We did a duet of this song. Super, super cute. You're going to love it. Check it out. It's right over there. So Steve Martin over there and the daughter and I over there. Anyway, let's move into the song itself. This is turning out to be a really difficult song for me to actually teach as opposed to play, because I don't have a lyric sheet for it. I don't have a chord sheet for it that I can refer to. It's all up in here. So I've had to actually go through and go, wait a minute, there is another chord. Oh, crap, blah, blah, blah. This is my second take. So let's try to make this a little easier. There are, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 chords in this song. Half a chord? We'll get to that. Let's just go through all 6 chords right off the bat so you know how to play them. And then we'll show you how to play them in relation to this fantastic tune. So our first chord we're going to start off with is a G, right? G chord is a very good chord to learn. It's a very important one. It's in everything. If you're going to learn any chord on a ukulele, it should be a G. If you play guitar already, you already know how to play a G. Just imagine that the bottom 3 strings on the ukulele are the bottom 3 strings on your guitar, and that you're not playing a G, that you're playing a D. It's the same chord pattern. For those of you that are not guitar players, let's look at how you play it. The G is played on the bottom string 2nd fret, the 2nd from the bottom string 3rd fret, and the 3rd from the bottom string 2nd fret. So that's going to be C 2nd fret, E 3rd fret, A 2nd fret. It makes this really nice little triangular shape if you look at it, right? So that's our G. I play it with my middle finger on the bottom string 2nd fret, my pointer finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret, and my ring finger on the 2nd string 2nd fret, or 3rd fret, making that D shape. I don't know if you can see it there or not. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now, so that's the G. G7. Trust me, it sounds funky. It's not. It's just exactly the same, but reversed. So instead of making a D this way, we're going to make a D this way, using the 1st fret instead of the 3rd. So the way I play this is my pointer finger on the E string, the 2nd string from the bottom, 1st fret, middle finger, sorry about that, on the 2nd fret C string, and my ring finger on the 2nd fret A string. A reverse triangle from what we had for the G. So we have G, we have G7. All right, let's keep going. These are nice and easy. Speaking of easy, C is probably the easiest chord out there. It is the A string 3rd fret. That's all it is. You can play with any finger you want. I play it with my middle finger, and I'll tell you why. The next chord is a C minor. C minor is actually a bar of the 3rd fret of everything but the top string. So the top string stays open, and you bar the bottom 3 strings on the 3rd fret. The problem I have with barring it with one finger is one of the strings just happens to correspond to that groove in my finger. So it's very difficult for me to get a proper bar. And for other reasons, which we'll go into in a minute, I really prefer playing bar chords on ukulele when it's in tight like this, like a D chord, for example, using one finger on one string and then barring the 2 strings above it with my pointer finger. So so instead of doing all 3 fingers on 3 strings on 1 fret, which I physically with these fat ass fingers cannot do, so I do it this way. if I had not figured out, and I honestly thought for a long time, I'm never going to be able to play a D. How can I play a D? My fingers cannot play a D. I figured out how to play a D. And I can use that same philosophy on a C minor because it's right there. Right? So we have G. We have G7. We have C. And then I'm going to plop this finger down right here and make a C minor. That said, if you want to play like this, that works for you, do it. If you want to play 3 fingers, if you've got ukulele friendly fingers, do it. Whatever works best for you, right? But this is Sirant style, so I play it my way that works with these chubby little sausages here. So, G, G7, C, C minor. I can also do it the other way around with the ring finger and middle finger, right? And then we're going to go to, we have our G again. The next chord that we're going to learn, as it's a part of the song, is D. D is exactly, for me, C minor, but I shift it back to the 2nd fret and jump it to the top 3 strings instead of the bottom 3. That's D, right? So I play it again with my middle finger on the E string, 2nd fret, and my pointer finger barring the G and the C strings on the 2nd fret. And that's how I can make a D. I cannot do it with 3 fingers. I cannot do it on a bar here because there's not really a way to bar with 1 finger the top 3 strings and leave the bottom open. So for me, this was the only way I could do it. If it helps you too, fantastic. Use it. So we have our D. Then we have what I call the D weird. The D weird, I call it the D weird because I'm sure there is a name for this chord. I don't know what it is. I'm not willing to Google it. It probably has some D 9th augmented 7th sharp stupid ass name. So I'm not going to bother. The way I play it is when I'm playing a D. Let's see if I can show you here. When I've got this pointer finger barring these 2 strings, I will simply pop it up. So it's still on the G string, 2nd fret, but the C string is now open. If that makes sense. If you're using 3 fingers, take the middle finger off. Sorry, right? But I do it this way. So we have D, I pop it up, and that's what I call the D weird. I don't know what it is, but it's a D something or other. Right? So we have a D, pop it up, D something. They're all going to be right over here, people. Now, 2 more chords and then we're done. We're going to learn the song. The next chord is an E minor 7. Less scary than it sounds. I'm going to take my pointer finger, I'm going to put it up here on the G string on the 1st fret. I'm going to take my middle finger and I'm going to put it on the C string on the 2nd fret. And I'm going to put my ring finger on the A string, 2nd fret. So the only open string is the E string, it's 2nd from the bottom. Love the E minor 7 chord. It's a lovely chord. I use E minor 7 a lot in replacement of an E chord. If the transition to an E chord is too difficult and this is easier, it sounds fantastic. It actually works. So we have E minor 7, and then the last chord, right? And again, I'll show you here. 1, 2, 3. Last chord is a simple A. A is nice and easy peasy too. Pointer finger on the C string, 1st fret, and middle finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, the G string, 2nd fret. 1st from the top. Right, so it's just like this and this. All right, so let's go just through those chords. So we have G, we have G7, we have C, we have C minor, we have D, we have D weird, we have E minor, and we have A. Sounds kind of crappy when strung together like that. Let's look at how we do it in the song. All right, so let's take a look at the verse first. The verse, when we sing the verse, there's 2 lines. We sing through it twice. The first is ever so slightly different than the second, just in the very end of it. So let's start off with G. I know, G7, you belong. Right? Then we switch to our C to some. At body, we switch to our C minor. Body knew. We go back to our G. But tonight, D, you belong. Go back to our G to me. Then we go back to our D. Then we do our D weird. And then we go straight back to the next line of the verse starting at G. Although, G7, we're apart. C, you're part, C minor of my heart. Then we go G, but tonight, D, you belong to me. Now here we don't do the extra D and the D weird. We keep it in the G, and then we transition into the chorus. Okay, so I'm going to play through it without singing, just the chord changes. So let's give this a try here. G, G7, C, C minor, G, D, G, D weird, and G, G7, C, C minor, G, D, G. Okay, now let me sing it. I'll try to call out the chord changes while I'm singing it, just for fun. Let's see what happens. So we're going to start off with G. I know, G7, you belong, C, to some C minor, but he knew, G, but tonight, D, you belong to me, G, woo, D, D weird, and G, although we're apart, G7 apart, C, you're part, C minor of my heart, G, but tonight you be D belong, G, to me. Okay, let's do it less weird this time. I'm just going to sing it through. You guys know the chord changes now, okay? Here we go. I know you belong to somebody new, but tonight you belong to me. Although we're apart, you're part of my heart, but tonight you belong to me. Now we're going to transition into the chorus, right? The chorus is not too bad at all, but we do get those two new chords, the E minor 7 and the A, but really not that bad. There's only actually 5 chords, I think, that we play in the entire chorus anyway. So first, after we've done this, another reason I like the way I play the C minor transition is if I'm in the G now and I pop my ring finger off, I've already got these 2 fingers in exactly the right position for the C minor. So I literally slide those down and drop my finger, and I'm in C minor. So I go from G to C minor incredibly easily. I don't even need to lift those 2 fingers. So that just makes it easier for me. That's another one of the reasons I play it that way. So let's drop down into our C minor. And that's where we do our Way Down by the Stream, How Sweet It Would Seem. And then we're going to switch to a G once more, just 2. And when we get to the Dream, we're going to go to our E minor 7. Dream in the A, Moonlight. Moonlight. And we go back to a D. My honey, and then after that we start back into the regular verse. I know, with the dawn you'll be gone, but tonight you belong to me, etc. So let's, I'll play through the chorus with the chords called out, but no singing. Way down, C minor by the stream. Oh wait, we're not singing, right? C minor. Get too excited sometimes. Now, one thing I am doing during this little bit here, you'll notice it has a little bit of rhythm to it. I'm actually pulling back off the strings a little bit, not like completely off, because then it would be like... But I'm just pulling back a little bit to kind of get a little bit of a mute going on them. You hear that kind of clunk sound. I don't know, that's just me from my own personal style, Sirant style, but you can do it any way you want. So when you hear me playing it that way, that's what that is. If you want to do it that way, go for it. If you just want to play it without that, by all means, go for it, okay? So we got the C minor. G, E minor 7, A, D, right? Now you can, at the end of that, throw in the little bit of the D weird and back to the D weird if you want to before you jump to the next verse. That's up to you. It'll work either way. So let's try that one more time, just calling the chords. C minor, G, E minor 7, A, D, right? And that's it. So let's sing it through. I'm not going to call the chords. There's not that many. Follow along with me here. We'll go C minor, G, E minor 7, A, D. So way down by the stream, how sweet it would seem once more just to dream in the moonlight, my honey. Now when I do that my honey part, I kind of just let it glide and then go right into the next verse. So that is the whole song. Let's play it through right from the top. I'm just going to play the chord. I'm just going to call it the chord changes for the verse and the chorus, and we'll see how it goes. So it starts off G, I, G7, C, C minor, G, D, G, D, D weird, G, G7, C minor, G, D, G, and here comes the chorus. C minor, G, E minor 7, A, D. And then we start right back into the entire song again. That's it, guys. It's like I said, it's not the easiest song I've ever taught, but it is my go-to song. I don't know why, what clicked in my head that made me pick this song as my go-to song, but it 100% is, and has been for many, many years. Like I said, you could throw a ukulele at me out of a crowd and say, play me a song right this second, or I'm going to shoot you in the head, and this is the song I would play. Grab a ukulele at a birthday party and say, hey, please sing a song for everybody to make them happy. This is the song I'm going to play. Stick me on a beach in Thailand with a ukulele. This is the song I'm going to sing to people as they walk by. It is the song I truly enjoy playing. I hope you enjoy playing it too. You've got the tutorial. I've already made the run through. Let's get her done. Hey, by the way, if you guys want me to show your videos, send me a link to your video and I will happily look at your videos and give you an honest impression of what I feel about your videos, if that's something you're interested in. Because I'm teaching you guys how to play this, but I'd love to hear you guys play it too. Something to think about.